Oh shit! Hi, I have an interview at 8 o'clock with Jimmy. It's really important.
Do you have a Twitch Prime sub?
A what? I don't know what that is. Do you mean like a YouTube subscription?
Sorry, you're late. You're gonna have to go to the back of the line.
You're joking. All the way to the back? Even behind the Alcas?
Next, please.
Ugh, this is crap. So, do you, alk often? And that, random street child, is the reason why it's been 8 months since the last episode. But, no questions. Thanks for listening. Roll the intro. My name's Sound. I'm on a mission to work my way through the history of RuneScape, year by year, beating every challenge this game has to offer, and obtaining the iconic gear sets that defined each era. The catch? I'm restricted only to the content that was available at the time, forcing me to travel the beaten and often forgotten paths that the legends before me had forged. Welcome to Bis List. It's January 2004. You've just gotten home from the barber's after getting your frosted tips touched up. You pause Hoobastank's The Reason on your 4GB iPod mini and rush into the living room so that you can play The Incredibles game on your PlayStation 2. And that's when you hear it. It's Alistair from school with some big news. RuneScape 2 is out. Ah, RuneScape 2. This is what people really think of when people say RuneScape. RS2 is to Classic what the Game Boy Advance is to the Game Boy. What the Star Wars prequels are to the original trilogy. What the cold drink of water from the bathroom tap at 2 AM in the morning is to a glass of fancy champagne. What I'm trying to say is that people big up Classic as the true version, but we all know that this is what we really prefer. And this era is going to be the biggest influx of new content for the entire account series, as well as tons of new systems that will change the way I play the game. Because of this, it's time to tweak my rule set slightly. I can now use special attacks with all my weapons, wear gloves with plate bodies, and use all of the protection prayers available to me in the prayer book. In addition, I was taking into account the very small pool of game worlds in RuneScape Classic. This restricted me buying items from shops and world hopping for item spawns and resources. However, going into this era, I'm going to be removing these restrictions as RS2 brought with it enough game worlds to get rid of this inconvenience. So, let's have a look at what I'm going to be working towards this era. We've got a pretty serious shopping list to get through, including all 3 Framnik helms and a Dwarven cannon, as well as a hefty number of cannonballs. You'll find out why I need all these later on. For this episode, we're going to go ahead and complete all of the quests available to us, including Monkey Madness, as well as get all of the raw gold required to purchase items in our setups that come from in-game shops. And since we picked up that Dragon Square shield, we're not looking too hot in the financial liquidation department. But just like real life, I'm going to put all my money worries to one side until my Dragon Med Helm is literally being repossessed, and go do some questing. Before we do that though, I'd like to make one more change. Our current name doesn't quite hit the mark anymore. This is RuneScape 2, and we need a name that fits with the year of 2004. Perfect. We're going to start off with some nice easy quests that open up the map. Rune Mysteries, Death Plateau, Nature Spirit, and Priest in Peril.
Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside. It looks like Grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here.
So I'm just doing Death Plateau, and I've picked up my first item on the Bis List with the climbing boots. These are a serious upgrade. We've got a +2 strength bonus, and they're going to be best in slot until later in 2005 when I can pick up some rune boots instead. And here's me thinking I would be able to bank in Berthop. The Rogue's Den wasn't released in 2005, so I can't use the bank underneath the pub, and even if I could get in, the Warriors Guild is 2006 content. So, guess I'm walking all the way back to Falador. Another massive upgrade in 2004 is enchanted rings and necklaces. And while I can't get access to any combat enhancing rings, I can get my hands on some rings of dueling and games necklaces. This opens my teleportation options so much, as I can access the Castle Walls bank easily, as well as the Las Vegas Strip. The games necklace currently only gives me a Berthorp teleport, as while the Barbarian Outpost did exist in 2004, Barbarian Assault did not, which is when the teleport was added. I'm going to get myself 53 agility before the next sesh of questing, as it will speed things up due to the reduced run energy drain. I need to pick it up for Regicide anyway, and I finally have a decent agility training spot in the Brimhaven course. I've also now got access to the agility potion, so I don't need level 56, although it will cost me 10 tickets to actually buy the Toadflax needed to create the potion, as this is the only source of the herb in 2004. As I can finally use Dragonhide armor, I went ahead and grabbed some green D'hide from the Champions Guild and Azaiac's shop. Needless to say, it is a big fat upgrade over the leather body and chapless ass that I was using in Classic. Right, back to questing. Right, we've got one more quest left, Monkey Madness. This was by far the most challenging quest released at the time. It changed the game when it came to questing. It was the first time that protection prayers weren't considered just a convenience, but were a requirement. Of course, people have done Monkey Madness with far less than protection prayers nowadays, but back then it was widely accepted that the quest was impossible to do without them. And then there was that slider puzzle that just blew people's minds, because Clue Scrolls had only been out for half a year, so barely anyone knew how to even solve these things. And I think on their first runs, a lot more people paid 250k to solve the puzzle for them than would be willing to admit it.
A child has fallen into the gorilla cage.
It also had that epic fight against the Jungle Demon, which was at the time the strongest quest boss monster, and had the highest max hit outside of Dragonfire in the game. I mean, sure, everyone did just stand outside the arena and let the gnomes tickle it to death, but it was scary, man.
Randy Orton slithering. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
And of course, the reward. 10,000 gold, 3 diamonds, 110,000 combined combat XP. And that's it. There were no other rewards to this quest. What? Why are you briefly glancing towards your second monitor where the video's playing to think, did he really forget? Alright, I give. Monkey Madness also rewards the ability to purchase and wield an iconic Dragon Scimitar. In 2005. That's right. While Monkey Madness was released in December of 2004, the Dragon Scimitar was not added into the game until March of 2005, alongside the Dragon Plate Skirt. Plate legs have been out since January 2005. It's bizarre to think that the reason this quest is such a memorable and iconic one wasn't even in the game when it first came out. And obviously it's a bit of a letdown for our account because it means we're stuck with the Dragon Longsword for another year. But that's all the 2004 quests done and out of the way. The last thing I want to do this episode is build up my cash stack and do some shopping. Since I need about 1.2 million gold to start off with, a bank sale isn't going to cut it this time, and we're going to need to invest some time in a real moneymaker. In 2004, there were only 5 ways of making gold. Picking flax and making it into bowstrings, buying flax and making that into bowstrings, buying bowstrings and or flax and selling them back at a profit, and fishing. Throughout the episode, I've been slowly working my way up towards 76 fishing. At 76, I can start to fish sharks, which is a serious money maker and was the best way to make money at the time without getting very lucky on drops. The street price for a shark was about 1k each, and that was a lot of money at the time. So it's time to finish up that goal and get ourselves 76 fishing. I'm going to be fishing lobsters for 76 fishing rather than going for salmon and trout. Even though salmon and trout would be faster, the money I'm going to make from fishing lobsters is pretty respectable and will give me a nice starter cash pile. Plus, it's much more AFK. Huge milestone coming in with 68 fishing. We can now do the rest of our grind at the Fishing Guild. It's going to speed things up, but let's be honest, not by much. We've still got a long way to go before we hit 76. Oh, there we go, 76 fishing. Let's do ourselves a lobster check. I haven't even looked at how many lobsters I've gotten, let alone check the price. I've just been using the deposit box. 12k lobsters, huge. How much is it worth?
There we go, that's some bank right there.
It took me a while, but eventually I found someone to buy the lobsters off of me. I then went on a bit of a globetrot to pick up all of the items that I wanted to buy. First, I went to Relica and picked up the Berserker, Farseer and Archer helms. While we will be going for the Robin Hood hat in our Bis, the Archer is a good middle ground. Plus, my boy Skull Grimmin hooked me up with a 3 for the price of 2 deal. There was also a Rune Warhammer somehow in stock, which usually is not the case, so I just grabbed it as they're typically very hard to come by without the GE. Next, I grabbed the Dragon Longsword and Dagger from Xanaris, as with the move to RuneScape 2, the D-Long undoubtedly became stronger than the Battle Axe, and the Dagger will be our best special attack weapon now that we can use them. Finally, 750k on this brand new Dwarven Cannon. So, why all the effort for one of these things? Well, we're still a long way off of Bis, and this bad boy is going to help us grind out some of the items we're missing. That's right, next episode, we're going to hunt some clues. See you then.